I been on anything, I put a few niggas. You ever bet a war if you ain't losing, nigga? When? Yeah, but I'm artist song. The only one you don't see me on the news. Oh, I'm all in the shit. Yeah, I be a dumbass nigga. You think I'ma lose? Shoes. Bitch wanna be a hoe? Let her go. Let she do what she wanna do, nigga. Talk. Fine line. Nah, it doesn't work. It do not work. Hey, you suck. Oh, you suck. Oh, you suck.
For some of these niggas, they wouldn't even do it for you. We 4 deep up in the hot, we ain't in New York, but nigga, we looking for woo. They know that I'm up some B, but I'm such a threat. For some of these nigga, we looking for woo. They know that I'm up some B, but I'm such a threat. For some of these nigga, we looking for woo. They know that I'm up some B, but I'm such a threat. For some of these nigga, we looking for woo. They know that I'm up some beat, but I'm such a threat. For some reason, up some beat, but I'm such a threat. For some reason, up some beat, but I'm such a threat. For some reason, up some beat, but I'm such a threat. For some reason,
Like Jesus. Yep. Yep. So fucking trash, bro. This shit retarded. This shit fucking retarded. Sheesh. God damn. That shit bright as hell. Yep. Hey, bro, this. Yo. Yo, yo. Yo. Mic check 1, 2, 3. What? You getting thick now, nigga? Come on, bro. You don't got an Elgato? Nigga don't got an Elgato. That was crazy. You eat dick for a living. You literally eat dick for a living. I don't know what else to tell you. Man. Man, man. Man. Man, man. Man. Man, man. Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
you didn't use us last year. Just file with TurboTax Do-It-Yourself by February 18th.
My name is Tommy G, and you might be wondering how I got here. Initially, I took a road trip to Memphis where I was going to be working with a nonprofit called We Fight Monsters to cover a story on human trafficking. But my friend at the nonprofit, Ben Owen, said, well, if you're going to be coming to Memphis, you might as well meet my friend Johnny Carter. He does undercover drug busts here. So of course I give Johnny a call, and like any true pal would, he invited me to a raid. You see, Johnny happens to be the director for West Tennessee Drug Task Force, so he has the pull to actually invite me to a raid where we'd also be meeting up with members of Memphis SWAT and
Bro, I swear to God, I can never be this fucking lucky. You know how much I will love to be a ride along on a raid, bro? What? I'll probably catch a charge. I'm stealing out that bitch. A raid, my nigga? And I only want to... Who wants to go on a felony ride along to where... Bro, is there some drugs in the house, some money in the house? I don't care about no guns. I can buy those. No, matter of fact, I don't care about the drugs either, nigga. What? Squad? You gotta be white for this shit to happen, Tommy G. Damn.
and other law enforcement agencies. Seeing as I've spent much of my career on YouTube covering the criminal side of the coin, I thought this would be an interesting opportunity to interview law enforcement and hear their story. And growing up as a bit of a pothead and rebel in high school, I've always had a little suspicion about police and authority, partly because I had trouble accepting that someone with a badge had the power to send me to jail for reefer, and partly because I was probably paranoid in my smoke-filled car. But as I've gotten older and lived in more sketchy neighborhoods, I've come to realize that good and accountable law enforcement is essential to a safe community. So in this episode, we get to witness a raid, I get to ask law enforcement all the sorts of questions you might also want to ask, and towards the end, good old Johnny has to draw his gun, but more on that later. This, folks, is inside an undercover drug bust. Let's get into it.
Take us to the raid.
6 a.m. in Memphis, Tennessee. We're going to be taking an inside look into the world of drugs at an angle that we've never seen it before. Usually on the channel, we're the ones interviewing the guy that's selling it, buying it, and this time we're going to be interviewing the side that's raiding it. So I think we're going to learn a lot. It's raining a bit here in Memphis, so...
I think it's Tommy G be like behind the scenes of the criminals, the traffickers, the Kia Boys, documentaries with killers, bro. Now he up here with with the sheriff department. This nigga gonna go to prison. I'm telling you. Tommy G gonna go to jail, bro. I don't know how, but this nigga gonna go to prison. He's doing too damn much.
Johnny said we're like the post office. It's rain or shine, they're gonna visit you. So, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man?
I'm gonna meet you. How are you guys get nervous for stuff like this? If that vehicle shows up to your house, you know you're.
Oh yeah, you know, there's no question.
And how many overall men do you think will make this breach?
So there'll be one SWAT team that'll make the breach. Then once the SWAT team secures the house, everybody's in cuffs, they've checked it, they'll do a secondary check. Then the search will start.
Do you get nervous before stuff like this?
Doing it for 26 years, I still get nervous every day.
And do we know what we're hitting this guy for?
Fentanyl.
And how much we talking?
Ounces.
How much can I make off an ounce of fentanyl?
It's about $20 a button. A button's about 1/10 of a gram. About $5,600. It's a never-ending battle. It's a game of whack-a-mole. You knock one down and two more pop up.
What was the timeline of when you feel like fentanyl really entered Memphis?
As soon as the states and the government cracked down on prescription opioids, you had Big Pharma. They introduced the opioid pain meds, they introduced the pain scale, and they made pain a right in the hospital, and doctors were giving it like it's the best thing since sliced bread. And then you had addicts that got addicted to it.
It's crazy hearing law enforcement acknowledge that big pharma is the root of a lot of the drug addiction issues in America, yet when you look at things, not one executive has ever served prison time, and all these small dealers are getting busted. It speaks to a growing frustration with Americans that the white-collar criminals can get away with anything and get rich, and the little guys get 10, 15, 20 plus years.
And then everybody cracked down on it. They did away with it. They're not prescribing it as openly as they used to. And, cartels, they pay attention to what's going on, and they adjust. They're a business. They're all about money.
Is that what you really want, son? No matter how many people you kill, you can't change what's happening.
So right now we're traveling in a convoy.
Oh, yeah.
Around how many men would you guess are going to be on this operation?
Oh, geez. 30. So what we'll do is they'll go in and secure. They'll do their initial entry, the initial search. They'll get everybody that's out in the open secured in handcuffs, and then they'll do a secondary search for anybody that might be hiding, and then we will start the search.
Before we see this raid, I wanted to get the scoop from someone who's been raided a few different times. This is Fila. He was a big Memphis drug dealer and OG back in the day, and this is his story.
And now he a smoker. I know one when I see one. It's how they usually end up. The dealers become the users after something, you know what I'm saying? But what I was about to say, squad, I could take a camera with me right now and go to every police department in America and ask them in the most polite way, can they take me on a ride along for a raid? The answer is going to be no, 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 no. And no, squad, they not doing it. They are not doing it. Tommy G is that nigga. I don't know how he convinced them not only to take him on a ride along on the raid, but to film the shit and then put it on YouTube. How? Tommy G the police, bro. Like, how? 7 ads is crazy. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Some crazy work. Keeping it real. But I told you niggas earlier to get over there to the channel so you can let the ads run before we actually start streaming, but y'all don't listen. I told y'all I've been giving out money, $50 comments, and you know what I'm saying? Little trivia for years. Fuck with me and subscribe. Support a nigga on Twitch. That way you don't get the ads. It's a double whammy. Support a nigga and don't get no ads. You don't want to do that either. So yeah, 7 ads is crazy, squad. Shit crazy, right? At least I don't do it on Patreon how I used to, nigga, to where you can't watch it at all unless you pay for the Patreon. You know what I'm saying?
I had this trap house over on Macklemore, and every night it was a f***ing party there, 7 days a week. It was coke, it was crack, it was seed, man, plenty of money, everything. I loved it. So one night I was inside my bedroom, and I knew the music up front be loud and everybody be partying.
Squad, and I ain't even trying to be funny. I am dead ass curious, and I want to know, when you wake up in the morning, do you brush the one tooth? I am dead serious. I want to know that. I'm not trying to be funny, because if it's only one, god damn it, one is next to none. And once that one go, it ain't nothing. Do you try to save, try to harvest, like, do you brush the one tooth? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the whole routine. Brush it, mouthwash, you know what I'm saying? Do you do the whole 9? Cause I know your gums gonna be irritated to the motherfucker if you just brushing your tongue is okay. But brushing your gums, so 2 brushes, it got the soft version, the medium version, and the hard version. Y'all know that, right? I didn't know that shit till like 3 years ago. I promise you I didn't. I just used to take the toothbrush off the rack. Oh, I need a new toothbrush. Let me go buy one. I was not paying attention to hard, soft, and medium. The point I'm trying to make is, do he use like the gentle? Or y'all know the toothbrushes y'all got kids? When your baby born at the hospital, they give you a whole little packet with the brush for the hair and all that type of shit, right? Or do he put toothpaste on some tissue and pat his gums? Hey, what the homie do, squad? Cause that tooth is it looked like he teething, like he about to start growing teeth. You know what I'm saying? For him to have one like that, it looked like just one came in, about the rest about to come in. Y'all got kids? Cause that's what it be like when your kid is teething, like one of them come in and then the rest, you get what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to get on the homie like that, but I just want to know about the one tooth, squad. Just the one tooth. Y'all got kids?
But I was fucking tired. I just had to get some rest. And I woke up in the middle of the night and it was fucking quiet. And I'm like, so I get up and I walk out. My front door, the raw end door was wide open. Next thing I know, when I turn my back, bam! The cops. So they take me to the door and I look out on the porch and everybody that was in my house was handcuffed and laying face down on the ground.
So there's a trap house right next to a sheriff's deputy?
So that's probably why they're not selling as much out of that house and going to other places.
Okay, so they're at the front door, they're preparing to go. Holy.
Oh, Tommy G, they gave you the Buster walk through. Nigga, I'm trying to beat. They gave Tommy G the bootleg. Nigga, we could have watched this on Cops. This the same damn view we see on Cops. I thought Tommy G was gonna.
I don't know if you've heard, but iExcel is perfect for busy kids like us. I'm getting ahead in reading and catching up on math.
iExcel actually makes math fun.
Start learning today at iExcel.com.
My name is Ashley Puyol. I am the founder of a small company named Unwrap. I design my own wrapping paper. I started using Adobe well over a decade ago. I use Photoshop for photo editing. I use Illustrator for vector goods. I export it as a PDF and boom, it's off to the printer.
Be behind them like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, this is the same shit we get on. Let me see.
So they're not doing a no-knock raid, I take it?
No, those are illegal now.
Oh, hell no. Protected and shit.
They're breaching the door.
That's the same shit we seen on Cops.
So he's not complying, or is he coming out?
So I really don't know at this point.
If there was going to be a shootout today, this is the moment when it would happen.
They can't get in?
For a tense minute, there was a standoff in which all guns were aimed at the house. Thankfully, the suspects decided to surrender peacefully, and after that, the SWAT team conducted their search.
So this is actually a female that's our main target.
Where's up there? Sleep? Early morning,
can you imagine praying out, you're woken up at 6:20 a.m. in your underwear and you're taken to jail and that...
That Tommy G, why you didn't tip him off? No, but bro, raids happen 99% of the time in between 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning. Why, Ghost? They want to catch you right before you go to work. They want to catch you right when you come home, like when you come home from the club type shit. They hit you from that window because that's when people are home in between 4 and 6, no matter what you do throughout your day. Come in the house at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. You go to work around 6 o'clock in the morning. Between 4 and 6 is when they hit them raids, bro. Surprise your ass. You knocked out. Can't grab a gun real quick. You don't know what's going on, you know what I'm saying?
How many years is a guy like this facing most likely? Like,
so it depends on the amount and their criminal history. Sale of fentanyl's a Class B felony.
They should get the maximum amount of time that it carries. Fentanyl is like playing Russian roulette. You don't know if you gonna hit this shit and you gonna.
That one tooth got his lip raised up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for that tooth, his lip wouldn't be raised like that. It need to be extracted because it's not even all the way in the gum like it's supposed to be. Like, say, damn, how can I make this work? God. Damn it, I can't. Anyway, his tooth is all the way out his gum. It's sitting on his gums instead of in his gum. One hard whistle, that motherfucker gone, squad. Let him whistle one good time. You know what I'm saying? Or eat a steak, medium rare. That shit is gone. This is out of there, bro. I'm telling you now, it's deforming his mouth. He might as well just he gotta let it go. He gotta let it go because at this point it's starting to look like, and I can't think of the animal, but that homie. I'm telling you.
6:30 a.m. the raid was completed without a hitch. Now the rest of the house is being searched. These people were wanted for selling fentanyl. I guess we've been doing this job covering the underworld long enough that I can say I've never met anyone that I would consider evil. I meet people that make really bad decisions. But you gotta draw a line in the sand. Like, is someone that sells a large quantity of fentanyl, are they evil or just a good person making bad choices? Like, what level of sympathy or grace do you give to somebody like that? It's easy from the outsider, like, oh, the guy just selling drugs to pay his rent. Like, I don't think it's right, but I get it. Okay, that's one level. Another is, she just sold a dose that...
Check out the newest strength equipment at Planet Fitness. We're trying new machines in the new year.
Love that new equipment smell.
So...
Killed my brother. Like, now it's personal. Like, how many bodies are attached to this fentanyl game? And then, you know, whenever...
Let's talk about it, Chad. For real. And I know a lot of us don't know somebody that really overdosed on drugs and died. We don't know that. I mean, we don't have that in our lives, you know what I'm saying? But let's talk about it. If your mama, your mom, or your child, your girlfriend, was to OD on fentanyl, or some dope they got, are you really mad at the dealer? Keep it 100, because I'm not. You know what I'm saying? They've been smoking dope. The dealer doing what he do, he trying to get it off. It's not like this nigga said, oh yeah, let me make this shit extra strong for Ghost Mama. My nigga, all the rocks is up in one bag. It's a random pick like a lottery. Nigga, here, you want a dime? Here you go. You want a dub? Here you go. Nigga, they don't know how to use this shit right, or they busting back. You can't be mad at the nigga that's dealing this shit. Like, that is so weird to me, bro. That's just trying to add on. And that's really happening in today's time. In the past 2 years, there's so many dealers going to jail for users overdoses, bro. And no, well, I can't tell nobody what to be, but I can't be mad over no shit like that, man. I can't.
Everything is said and done, how much of this just has to do with poverty and rough situations? We were at a Texas prison recently, and not one of those guys came from an upper middle class home with 2 parents in the household. Like, show of hands, who would say they grew up in poverty? Show of hands, how many of you had your father in your life growing up as a kid? How many of you didn't? Certainly the job of a drug dealer has been popularized, has been glamorized in hip hop and rap. Like, the hustler is the guy that people look up to in a community. And is that because rap made it cool, or because, depending on what area you're from, that might be the one guy with some sort of resources? I don't know. If I'm treating everyone like I'm an older brother and I could give them advice, I don't think I would tell them to do anything that can result in years behind bars. What amount of money is worth time in prison? Like, even if someone said, I'll give you $1 million but you got to go away for 10 years. No, I would.
$1 million for 10 years, no. But 10 million for 1 year, fuck yes. Like, hell yes. In a heartbeat, yes. You mean I could set up the next lifetime? I can make 10 million last a lifetime. For 1 year, fuck yes. I promise you, bro. Give me 10 million for a year. Nigga. I'll deal with it. Jail won't be that bad. When you know you have an out date after this year, you know for sure you coming home on this date. Every day that you in that bitch, bro, it's bad, but you know what I'm doing. I'm coming home in that 10. I'm coming home in that 10, squad.
Only take $1 million for 1 year. Some of the law.
Yes again. You mean Tommy G? $1 million for a year, bro? Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. 12 months, 6 months in, you're gonna be like, oh, I got 6 months left. I'm in the bank, bro. I'm doing it. Yeah.
Law enforcement we spoke to were operating undercover, and for this reason, we had to blur their face for their interviews. For the average guy in the streets out there, can you remind them how much of a bad idea having a switch on you is?
Turned it into an automatic pistol, which is an ATF violation, which is a federal crime. You know, and once we do our job, what the actual prosecutors do with it is kind of up to them. The other big problem we're seeing right now, man, is that we're grabbing these dudes and putting them in jail for serious violent crimes, and they're getting out, you know, in a day or two.
Like murder?
Murder. It's all in the news right now in Memphis, man. They're released, they're RORing guys on first-degree murder charges.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's in the news. I mean,
because it's innocent till proven guilty, or like what's the rationale for that?
Their rationale, I think, is that they're like, well, you know, you're innocent until proven guilty, and then they're like, well, this person they arrested doesn't have a job, and they live at home with their mother, or whatever. And I understand a little bit of that. I can empathize a little bit, but when it's a violent felony, bro, and the other thing is, you're right, it is innocent to proven guilty, but law enforcement, I've been doing this for 18 years, man, and law enforcement, in my opinion, we don't put charges like aggravated assault, aggravated robbery, murder. We don't put those charges on people just with a little bit of evidence to make it probable, right? Probable cause. We don't.
Did this nigga not think this was gonna be on the internet and people was gonna have their opinion? My nigga, y'all always put murders and aggravated assault on people that didn't do it just for false. What the fuck? I know a few. Bro. This is a biased ass cop. Fuck your 18 years. I ain't been here for 18 years, but I ain't know this.
I don't want to, even if we had a doubt, we're not going to arrest somebody on a charge like that unless we're firmly convinced that they committed that crime. The repercussions of even just being charged and arrested, and maybe even being released later and found that you're innocent of it, like that can follow somebody for the rest of their life.
Right now, the people I'm most afraid of are typically like the 50.
That's a fact.
Live from New York!
SNL was the biggest show ever.
I gotta have more cowbell. It's an American institution.
Everything you're about to see has never been seen before.
My first audition, I threw up.
I still have nightmares about the stress of Saturday night.
It is built on competition.
I think it's a miracle that I'm sitting here right now.
Yeah, I got fired. We gonna talk about it.
Oh boy.
Hello, I'm Andy. Do you have a broken vacuum? Take it to Handy Andy's. We repair all vacuum cleaner brands and sell parts. We give free estimates, have free loaners, guarantee our work, and take trade-ins. We also make the best new vacuum you'll ever own. Our Handy Andy's Quality Vac vacuum cleaner is highly recommended and has excellent reviews. Come see me, Henry, and Paul for Handy Andy's amazing service and guarantee. Buy your new vacuum at Handy Andy's.
I gotta run to the kitchen real quick though. Being arrested, even though you didn't do it, if you get acquitted, still follow.
18-year-olds. This is Steve Mulroy, the district attorney of Shelby County. He and his team of 110 prosecutors set the tone for how crime is fought in Memphis, the most dangerous city in America. Some in the city praise him for things like increasing funding for the homeless and ending the illegal practice of 48-hour holds of suspects without probable cause. But others, including some of the cops we spoke to, thought he was soft on crime and deserved blame for some of the lawlessness in the city. This is what he had to say. Let's dive more into the juveniles, because what I've noticed in traveling the country and being in some of the craziest areas is it's the younger kids, 13, 14, 15-year-old kids that you sometimes have to be the most afraid of. How do you curb them, but also not just give them a free pass to get out tomorrow and do it again?
There are two particular types of crimes here in Shelby County that we're really concerned about with under 18 crime. One is car break-ins and the other is car thefts. One of the things we're doing to address that problem is we've set up in our office something called the CARS unit in our juvenile court team. And the idea is that the goal is to try to intervene early on where these under 18, but these kids are committing a nonviolent car break-in or a nonviolent car theft. We're trying to intervene before they graduate on to more serious crimes. By the time they come to us, they're already down the wrong path, right? What we really
give me the 200 subs, squad. Fuck with me.
What we want to do is intervene more upstream, earlier in their lives, where it can be more effective.
The people that are doing the killing, especially the young guys, like what is the psychological profile that it seems like there's been such a loss of value in life?
We gangbang.
What is that?
That's all it is.
I don't think a lot of these killings are done with any real thought put into it. Right? I think it's an emotional response at a moment's notice.
So impulse control issues?
Very much impulse control. I mean, that's why you're seeing
Dark One.
Most of these young people that, you know, in their teens that are committing a lot of these crimes. It's impulse control. For whatever reason, I don't think they understand the ramifications and the depth of what they're doing.
Do you think the killer celebrated?
Yeah, like, man, so-and-so got 2 bodies. He got 3 bodies. You know, whatever. That's how they look at it. It just continues.
So for someone that says, like, wow, man, they're just, people are in tough situations, poverty.
Bullshit, you're making excuses, man, because you can say it's because they come from, you know, an environment.
This is what I say. I got the best motherfuckers on YouTube, the best subscribers, supporters, followers, whatever you want to call it on you. Well, Twitch. Well, some of y'all niggas probably found me on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Good looking now, my boys. Good looking now, bro. Oh, my son's still up. Hey, my son got student of the month. Look at this shit.
I mean, that doesn't give them chances. That's bullshit, man. I don't want to hear that. It's still the United States of America, man. If you make the decision to make your life better, you can make your life better.
What's going through your head right now?
I'm just glad everybody's safe. We're safe, the bad guys are safe, nobody got hurt, so that's a good day. And then, of course, we found what we were looking for, so that's an even better day.
Were there any weapons found?
No weapons, surprisingly.
How often do you find a switch when it comes to a fentanyl bust?
Switches are all over. The external switches, now they've got internal switches too, which are harder to break the gun down to find it.
Over the course of your career, how many raids, busts do you think you've gone on?
Oh, Jesus. Well over 1,000. I've been in law enforcement 26 years, full-time dope and gangs for 21 years. I do anywhere from 1 to 6 a week. So that's a lot of math this early in the morning.
Does it feel like you have a wild job?
Crazy. It used to. It's kind of become the norm for me now. I mean, I still love it. It's still exciting, and it's still a community service.
How rough is this immediate area that we're in right now?
If it wasn't raining, we'd have heard 10 gunshots.
So rain almost helped the operation?
Rain helped keep us safe, absolutely. There wasn't any lookouts, there wasn't anybody out. So we're going to go ahead and process the evidence, count the money, do some field tests on the narcotics that were seized, and start the process that nobody wants.
Doing this for 26 years, how have the last handful of years been different, or what have you noticed about these last handful of years?
So back when interdiction first became a thing, back in the, I'd say the 90s, It was pretty much trunk loads. You know, they throw it in the trunk and they take it wherever. So when you stop that car and you pop that trunk, or you look in that bag in the back seat, it was full of drugs. You know, nowadays cartels have evolved. They hire people specifically to try to find ways to hide the drugs.
Now, do Memphis gangs come in contact with the cartels?
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you think the Vice Lords, the Crips, the GDs, that they are doing in some way business with cartels?
Sure, absolutely. Everybody is, if you think about it. I mean, even the end user is indirectly doing business with the cartel.
How has the game changed in the last couple of years?
Oh, it's constantly evolving. I mean, every day you wake up, it's something new. It's a different way of hiding,
YouTube,
it's a different way of selling, it's a different terminology, it's a different drug.
As we were sitting in Johnny's office, the interrogation of the suspects was happening in the room next door, so I peeked around the corner to see if I could hear how it was going. I tried to imagine how the suspects were feeling, knowing that if found guilty, they faced years of their life in prison behind bars. Is there any misconception about your line of work that you'd like to educate the public on?
There's a difference in opinion, which is what makes America America. Everybody has their own opinions. Some people think, oh, the war on drugs, we're never going to win, and we should leave these people alone, let them do what they do, and they're not bothering anybody but themselves. Some people think they ought to be locked up and the key thrown away for the rest of their life. Personally, I'm somewhere in the middle there. I think if we can help somebody and we can rehabilitate them, there are some people out there that probably need to be locked up and the key thrown away, and that's those evil people that I've stared in the face over the years.
How long can these interrogations go for?
Oh, I've
24 hours.
30 seconds to 4 hours.
When people are in the interrogation, what percentage of them talk and give up information?
So the majority will talk and will give up some amount of information, and that doesn't mean that they cooperate. This year alone, we've seized over a ton of narcotics since January 1.
What percentage of that is non-weed tonnage?
Oh, the majority of it's weed.
Do you ever feel like when you bust a house for weed, or you're like, come on, that's weed?
Yes and no. The majority of that came off the interdiction unit, off the interstate. It was coming out of California or Colorado, places like that, coming across. Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a big one now. You were speaking earlier about the Chinese marijuana industry, and Oklahoma's ground zero for that.
This person here is trying to make the decisions that would determine how many years of their life will be spent behind bars. Let's tell you more about that process. Let's talk about the odds these suspects are facing. If the feds were involved in the raid, the conviction rate in fed cases is over 95%. If it's just the county involved, their chances are decently better in fighting the charge. However, one thing worth noting is that most of these cases never make it to court. The vast majority result in plea deals. And due to the heavy caseload many courts face, plea deals with reduced sentences are often offered to promote cooperation and accelerate the legal process. Another tactic those charged can expect.
No, it ain't. Plea deals is what you just said about the FBI, how their conviction rate is over 95%. The state trying to get their conviction rate up. They tell you, look, you take this to trial, you're going to get 25 years. We're going to do you a solid, man. Listen, y'all just heard me say 25 years. They going to say, we'll do you a solid, man. Why don't you plead out to just 4 years, you'll do about 2.5 in the pen. And that's when you like, all right, for sure, bet. Because niggas ain't got enough money to hire a lawyer. And if you go to court 9 times out of 10, if you're from the hood, you're going to have a public defender. 9.5 times out of 10, you're going to have a public defender. So they plead out. That's why they do it. Not for whatever bullshit Tommy G just said. Or whatever bullshit they told Tommy G and Tommy G told us. Look at this shit.
One thing worth noting is that most of these cases never make it to court. The vast majority result in plea deals. And due to the heavy caseload many courts face, plea deals with reduced sentences are often offered to promote cooperation and accelerate the legal process. Another tactic those charged can expect is an attempt by law enforcement to turn them into confidential informants in exchange for a heavily reduced sentence. If they give away key evidence, this information can be used to obtain a warrant to raid the next dealer in the chain. The flip side of this, of course, is the extreme danger of being found out to be a snitch.
All right, we're going to walk over here. We're going to start going through all the evidence that we recovered from the house. We'll do some field tests. We've got to count the money and go through everything.
What is the true economic opportunity of doing this? Someone running a dope house, what type of money are they making monthly?
Roughly, I'm guessing $15,000.
And due to civil forfeiture laws, is that money now your squad's?
So to speak. There's a whole lot of paperwork and a whole lot of hearings that go along with that. We can't just take your money. We can't just say, oh, it's drug money, let's take it.
Civil forfeiture is the highly controversial practice in which law enforcement can seize the property of someone suspected of a crime. But the thing is, the suspect doesn't even need to be officially charged with the crime for the property to be taken. The most commonly seized assets include cars, cash, guns, and in some cases even the house of the suspect. Once approved by the courts, the police are then allowed to keep or sell these assets. And many agencies, including Johnny's, fund themselves through this method. And to give perspective of how much this happens, the federal government has pocketed nearly $69 billion through civil forfeiture in the last 20 years. Proponents of this...
You learn something every day. I'm thinking they take this shit and give it to... What? Wow. So you mean to tell me these police departments keep the actual bread?
Nearly $69 billion through civil forfeiture in the last 20 years. Proponents of this practice maintain that this is a way to keep criminal organizations from getting too powerful by hampering their resources, while opponents of civil forfeiture think this is essentially allowing law enforcement to commit legalized theft and is therefore a major violation of civil rights. Here's my lawyer's take on the subject.
One, the police can come in and take things that they don't know where they came from. Are they fruits of crime? Were they bought with illicit proceeds, or are they merely someone's actual stuff and cash? And there's been terrible instances where, imagine, the kid is selling marijuana out of his bedroom, small amounts, but the government will come after the parents and go after their car or even their house in some circumstances and say, well, it was used in maintaining a drug place, and so we're going to seize that asset. We see this a lot with people who don't trust banks. Imagine someone who's just trying to gather a bunch of money and go do something, buy a piece of property, buy a car, maybe save for their own house or their kids' college education. So they're squirreling away money, under their mattress essentially. And the police come in for some related or unrelated reason, and they grab all that money. What's that average citizen going to do against all the government agents and all their lawyers and all the bureaucracy that's built?
Now Taxes is getting up to $4,000 instantly.
Experience luxury in every drive with the Buick Envision. Quiet tuning technology creates a serene interior, while ambient lighting enhances the perfect mood. Discover the exceptional with Buick. Buick, exceptional by design.